Peace to the family, was goody? It's your boy back with another episode. I'm the one and only Jody Wins, and today we finna talk about what was cracking last night in sports. Before we get into anything, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We trying to grow, we trying to go. You know what I mean? But we gonna get into it. So we gonna start off with some Monday Night Football. Shout out to the game that we had today. The Ravens went against the Chargers. Ravens won 30-23. Ravens improved to 8-4. Chargers dropped to 7-4. Lamar Jackson had 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he rushed for 1 touchdown. That boy Derrick Henry had 24 carries for 140 yards. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert threw for 218 yards. I think they scored a last minute. They got down the field. They got down the field at the end to score a touchdown. Shout out to the Ravens. I can see the Ravens winning the Super Bowl this year, hopefully, so Lamar Jackson can add that to his resume. 2-time MVP. He need to get that ring now, so he can be in the conversation with Pat Mahomes, even though, it's not even close. Pat Mahomes, that nigga. Pat Mahomes is probably going to be the GOAT, how it's looking. And then this year, they like 10-1. So, yeah, Pat Mahomes, that nigga right now. But hopefully Lamar Jackson can get a ring sometime in his career. Hopefully it can be this year. Other than that, that was Monday Night Football. Shout out to Lamar Jackson for getting the dub. The Harbros, the brothers played against each other. Ravens won, Anyways, now we finna get into the NBA. You know what I mean? Shout out to the league. We had the Magic go against the Hornets. The Magic won 95-84. It was a low-scoring game. It was a low-scoring game. Magic improved to 12-7. The Hornets dropped to 6-11. Franz Wagner had 21-7. And then his brother, I think his name is like Mortez Wagner. Wagner and Cole Anthony both had 16-8 for the Hornets. LaMelo Ball had 44-9-7. Brandon Miller had 20-10. I don't know if y'all know, but LaMelo Ball been hooping this year, and right now he looking like the best point guard in the NBA this year so far. You know what I mean? He had 50 the other day. He lead the league in fourth quarter scoring, and he can facilitate. That's the beauty of watching him play. He can score, but he can pass too. And that's rare in today's NBA. You either a facilitator or you can get buckets. He can do both. You know what I mean? Bro had 44-9-7. Even though they lost. He had 50 the other day. I think they lost that game too. He cooked Giannis the other day too. Like, Giannis cannot. Y'all got to put some respect on LaMelo Ball. He the best ball brother. He the best ball brother out of the three. We got to put some respect on his name. Him and Brandon Miller, they can be a nice duo. They out there just hooping. I don't see them getting no wins really though, because it is Charlotte. Charlotte is ass. But LaMelo out there bringing bodies into the arena. If he keep doing this, he should be an MVP candidate, because he pretty much carrying this team, even though the team ain't getting dubs. But without LaMelo, the team is ass. Even with him, they ass, but they nothing without Melo. Love Melo. There's only one Melo. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. But The Magic, you know what I mean? The Magic is they magicians this year. They cooking, without Paulo, Franz Wagner. I never expected him to be this good, but that nigga nice, yo. That nigga be hooping. He can carry a team. Well, he can carry this team. He been carrying this team since Paulo been hurt. Like I've been saying, the Magic is gonna be in the playoffs. I can see them being the middle to high seed in the East. The East is ass anyway. But shout out to the Magics. They out there shocking people. Even though they was nice last year, but like nobody expected, even without Paulo, like nobody expected the Magic to still be out here hooping. But yeah. The Pistons went against the Raptors. The Pistons won 102 to 100. Pistons improved to 8-11. The Raptors dropped to 4-14. That boy Ivy had 25, 5, and 8. And he had the game-winning floater. Shout out to Ivy. He was hooping. That floater was nice. Broke down the defender. Attacked the bucket. Hit him with the floater and buzzer beater. Game. The Pistons, all they starters had 10-plus points. Shout out to Pistons. Shout out to Detroit. Nobody expected them to be hooping like they hooping this year, even though they 3 games under 500. Last year they was ass all year. You know what I mean? They was ass under 500. But they hooping this year. For the Raptors, Scotty Barnes was hooping. He had 31, 14, and 7. RJ Barrett had 17. The Raptors is ass. The Raptors ain't doing shit for the next decade, like I've been saying. They going to have to channel, that Kawhi. They going to have to channel Vince Carter or somebody. They going to have to go to church. They're going to have to do something because, yeah, they done. They fans ain't really... Hopefully they fans don't got no expectations on them because, I don't see nobody doing nothing. And Toronto as a country, they've been taking... Canada as a country, they've been taking L's all year. You know what I mean? Shout out to Drake. But we're going to get into the next game. The Pacers went against the Pelicans. The Pacers won 114 to 110. Pacers improved to 8-10. Pelicans dropped to 4-14. Tyrese Halliburton had 34 and 13. Miles Turner had 17 and 9. All starters had 10+ points for the Pacers. So shout out to the Pacers. Like I said the other day, if the Pacers is playing like this and they moving the ball and there's multiple people putting the ball in the basket, I can see them upsetting a high seed in the playoffs. I don't see the Pacers going to the finals or nothing like that, but I think they can be one of those shocker teams, like if they went against Boston or New York. If one of those teams go in there playing, I think Pacers got enough ammo to eliminate them. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Pacers. They've been out here moving the ball, cooking these last couple games. For the Pelicans, Murphy had 24 and 6. McCollum was out there. He had 23. Alfred Payton, I think that's his name. Payton. Oh, yeah, Payton. Yeah, he had 14, 7, and 21 assists. Shout out to that nigga. Yeah, that nigga was out there hooping, moving the ball. Messi had 16 and 13 off the bench for the Pelicans. Even though they had niggas hooping, them niggas is done for the season. Their season is over already, and we only 16 games in, or 18 games in. Zion out, Ingram out. Yeah, shit looking nasty for them niggas. They might as well call a huddle, hands in, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Them niggas is done. The Mavs went against the Hawks. The Mavs won 129 to 119. Mavs improved to 10 and 8. Hawks dropped to 7-11. That nigga Kyrie had 32, 7, and 6. That nigga was out there cooking. Hardy had 23. Marshall had 22 and 6. And that nigga Spencer Dinwiddie had 22 off the bench. That nigga still in the league. I forgot that nigga was still in the league. That nigga nice though. But yeah. Shout out to the Mavs. I think Clay didn't play. I think Luka didn't play. But they still pulled off the win. But it's the Hawks. It's the Hawks, you know what I mean? I feel like me and my brothers could have beat the Hawks. But for the Hawks, that nigga Johnson had 28 and 11. Trae Young had 18 and 16. Bogdanovich had 18 off the bench. I mean, to be 7 and 11 when you just had the number 1 pick in the lottery, that's a good. That's a good record. They still in the hunt. The East is ass. You know, it's like 3, 4, maybe 5 teams above 500. Them niggas is ass. The East is ass. You know what I mean? So I feel like the Pacers can still sneak their way into the playoffs. I mean, really anybody can make the playoffs in the East because the standard is low, you know. So niggas gonna make the playoffs with a 30-something and 40, you know, 37 and 40, 41, you know, 42. You can be 37 and 40 motherfucking 2 or something like that. And and still make the playoffs, you know. So, you know, shout out to the East because they got a low standard. Them niggas is ass. But anyways, the Celtics went against the Clippers. You know, Celtics won 126-94. Celtics improved to 15 and 3. The Clippers dropped to 11 and 8. That nigga Tatum had 20 and 9. That nigga Porzingis made his season debut. He had 16 and 6. Derek White had 19 and 7. Jaylen Brown had 17 and 6. Pritchard off the bench had 20 points. Them Celtics niggas, yo, they looking real tough. Yo, they're looking like a repeat. You know, I mean, they got a hit out on the league because of how the media did them in the summer. You know, Tatum making the Olympic team. The Olympic team not inviting Jaylen Brown. And then turn around and inviting his teammates, Drew Holiday and Derek White, when everybody know Jaylen Brown is either the first or the second best player on the Celtics. He just was the Finals MVP. He just was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And for the Team USA to overlook him, they got a hit out on the league. You know what I mean? For the Clippers, Harden had 19, 8, and 9. Zubac had 23 and 10. Norman Powell didn't play. Shout out to James Harden for still holding his team up on his shoulders because nobody expected them to be 3 games over 500 without Kawhi Leonard, without Paul George, without Russell Westbrook. That nigga James Harden still out here carrying niggas. Like, this is like Houston, but he just older. He's still out here carrying niggas. Shout out to James Harden. Like, the Clippers ain't gonna really do nothing. They gonna make the playoffs, but without Kawhi, without a healthy Kawhi, I don't see the Clippers doing nothing in the playoffs. They might get eliminated. I can see them getting eliminated first round, you know, maybe possibly sneaking into the second round, depending on who they match up. But, yeah, shout out to the Celtics. They cooking. I can see them coming out the East again and winning it all again. There's no competition in the East right now other than the Cavs. And we don't know if that's a fluke or not, you know. But the Cavs is 17 and 1, you know. We had the Grizzlies go against the Blazers. The Grizzlies won 123-98. Grizzlies improved to 11 and 7. Blazers dropped to 7 and 11. That nigga Ja returned from injury. He put up 22 and 11. That nigga Triple J had 21 and 6. For the Blazers, Denny had 17, 8, and 6 off the bench. Sharp had 15. As a whole team, them niggas shot 8 for 46 from the 3. That's fucking terrible. Them niggas was they shot 17% from the 3. Now, I'm not no teacher or nothing like that, but when you get in a grade, I think 60% is a D. These niggas got 17%. That's a fucking zero pretty much. You know what I mean? That's a Z. Them niggas got a T. Trash. You know, that shit is crazy. For an NBA team to shoot 17%, y'all niggas should have stopped shooting. How you only make 8 out of 46 threes? You shot it 46 times and you only made 8. That shit is crazy. Blazers is fucking ass. You know what I mean? Me and my sisters can squad up and run the Blazers and give them a run for their money. Blazers is ass. You know, DeAndre Ayton ass. He didn't play. I don't think Scoot Henderson, I don't even know, you know, is that nigga still in the league? Because that nigga's ass. That nigga's a Bronny James with goggles. I think Jerry McGrant had about like 13 or some shit like that, or 11. I don't know. He was invalid. He was irrelevant. But shout out to the Grizzlies, you know, winning. Shout out to Ja returning, putting up a double-double, and he had a crazy dunk. We had the Knicks go against the Nuggets. The Knicks won 145-118. Knicks improved to 10-7. The Nuggets dropped to 9-7. That nigga OG Anunoby had 40-5. Cat had 30-15. Jalen Brunson had 23-17. Them niggas shot over 50% from the three, and they had 45 assists. So the Knicks is cooking. I think they figuring it out. They 3 games over 500. Cat been balling this year. Jalen Brunson been balling this year. Cat been on that. Cat been like, yeah, y'all niggas forgot about me. Knicks is cooking. I mean, they only 3 games over 500, but it's looking like they figuring this shit out. They doing better than Minnesota. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to Cat for keeping it going. Shout out to OG Anunoby for that season high 40. Brunson, like I said, Brunson has 17 assists. You know, that nigga was out there cooking. For the Nuggets, Westbrook had 27 off the bench. Shout out to Russell Westbrook, man. Like, that nigga still out here hooping. That nigga still putting up points. He in a happy situation, and he appreciated. So shout out to Russell. Joker had 22, 7 and 7. Jamal Murray had 20 and 7. MPJ had 18 and 10. The Nuggets lost, but I ain't putting no salt on them niggas. This is the regular season, and the regular season ain't really that important, especially with a team like this, because this is a playoff team. I think they just cruising. I mean, I know they want to win the games, but I think they just cruising into the playoffs, and then they going to turn it up in the playoffs. So I ain't really putting too much on them for losing against the Knicks. They got Joker. You know, Joker might win another MVP. So, yeah, I ain't really tripping on the Nuggets losing this. They going to figure shit out. This next one, I thought it was going to be different, but I was wrong. So the Nets went against Golden State. Nets won 128-120. Nets improved to 8-10. Warriors dropped to 12-5. I honestly thought the Warriors was finna cook them niggas, but there was a different chef in the kitchen. That nigga Schroeder had 31, 5 and 7. Cam Thomas had 23. I think they was down by like 18 at one point and came back, but shout out to the Nets for getting that dub. For Golden State, Curry had 28 and 7. Wiggins had 18. Kuminga got a DNP. He didn't play. I ain't putting no salt on the Warriors for losing this game because it's just a game. I honestly think, and I think Buddy Hield didn't really do that good off the bench, but I honestly think that this Warriors is playing like the Warriors that just won the ring. That just won the ring maybe like in 2021, 2022. They got a lot of similarities. And I found out that every time Kendrick dropped an album, the Warriors won. Every time Kendrick dropped an album, the Warriors won the championship. So, I mean, I don't know how much how valid that is, but if it's true, they cooking this year, so hey, it could be true, OKC went against the Kings. OKC had 130. Kings had 109. OKC improved to 13-4. Kings dropped to 8-10. That nigga SGA had 37 and 11. Jalen Williams had 28-5. Hartenstein had 17 and 10. The OKC Thunder, they gonna be there. They gonna be in the playoffs. I can see them getting to the Western Conference Finals. They still figuring out how to win without Chet. And then when Chet get back, it's gonna be him and Hartenstein. He ain't gotta play the big all the time. It's gonna get real nasty for them for the competition because Thunder gonna be there. They a young squad. SGA ain't playing with them niggas. He on a mission because he feel like he got snubbed from the MVP. I think he should have won MVP, but I ain't really want to bring politics into this. But shout out to SGA though. For the Kings, DeRozan had 30 and 6. Sabonis had 21 and 10. I ain't gonna put no dirt on them niggas because it's just a game and they lost to OKC. I think fucking Fox had like 14 points or some shit like that, so he wasn't cooking like he normally been cooking this year. But anyways, and then we got some games tonight. I'm gonna give y'all my prediction for the games tonight. We got the Bulls going against the Wizards. I got the Bulls winning. Zach LaVine gonna cook them niggas. Kobe White gonna be cooking too. Hopefully Jordan Poole do something, but I got the Bulls winning. We got the Bucks going against the Heat. Everybody talking like the Bucks figured it out, but they've been going against weak-ass teams. They going against the Heat, and the Heat didn't have their numbers the majority of the time over the last couple of years. I'm going to put my money on the Heat. I think Jimmy Bucket's finna destroy them niggas. I know they wanted Dame, but Dame went somewhere else, so I feel like Miami going to show them that they can win without Dame. So I got the Heat winning that. The Rockets going against the Wolves. I got the Wolves winning this. The Rockets is nice, but I think Fred VanVleet got in trouble. So, and I think he got suspended. I don't know if he did. If he did get suspended, I got the Wolves. If he didn't, it's a toss-up. But I'm gonna just go with the Wolves because I feel like Ant-Man going to give him 30. Julius Randle going to give him 30. They got Rob Dillingham off the bench. Hopefully he can get some PT and he can, he liable to drop 20 off the bench. We got the Spurs going against the Jazz. I feel like the Spurs is finna cook them niggas. It's a cemetery in Utah, so I don't really see nothing special coming out of Utah. I don't know if Wemby back, but I know Harrison Barnes gonna cook them niggas, so I got the Spurs winning that. And then we got the Lakers against the Suns. Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant are game time decisions. If KD play, I got Suns winning. Suns winning by 10 plus. But I'm gonna just pick the Suns even if KD ain't playing. I feel like Booker gonna have one of those games because I've been saying that Booker is not him. He put up a whole bunch of unnecessary points. His points don't lead to dubs. And this is a good game for him to prove me wrong. You're going against Lakers, LeBron, AD. That nigga Connect been out there hooping. But I'm going to go with the Suns. I'm going to go with the Suns by 10 plus. And then I want y'all to tally it up. I'm going to tally it up and see how right I am. I'm pretty confident in my picks. You know what I mean? Now we going to get into NCAA women's college basketball. We had LSU go against Washington. LSU won 68-67. LSU improved to 7-0. Washington dropped to 6-2. That girl Flo had 19. Anisha had 19 and 13. Smith had 16 and 15. And Kaylin Gilbert had 8. And she had the game-winning layup. So shout out to Gilbert. Because they was finna lose, you know. They was finna lose. They was finna get their first loss of the season. But Gilbert had other plans. So shout out to Gilbert for that game-winning layup. For Washington, Sellers had 24 points. So, I mean, they ain't really have... I mean, I ain't gonna say she was out there by... She was out there by herself. She had teammates. But at the end, I guess LSU, you know, they figured it out. Shout out to LSU. UConn went against Oregon State. UConn won 71-52. UConn improved to 5-0. Oregon State dropped to 1-5. Paige had 23-6 for Oregon State. AJ had 17-5. They still rolling. Shout out to UConn. They still rolling. They just won. Gino just broke the record for the most wins. So he the most winningest coach in college basketball history. Paige is projected to be the number 1 pick. She keep playing like this, she gonna get picked first. Dallas Wings got the number 1 pick in the WNBA, so she might be paired up with Arike and Gumbawambe, and that'd be a nice duo because Arike the best guard in the WNBA to me. She play like a nigga, no disrespect. Her moves are smooth, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing forced. She just one-legged threes, you know, she can do it all. And to pair her with Paige, another guard who can facilitate and score, Dallas might be them next year. Now, so Kendrick just dropped the album. You know, shout out to Kendrick Lamar. I ain't really bump all of it. I heard a couple songs. I fuck with a couple songs. But the headline is the niggas still taking shots at Drake, and word on the street is he coming at Weezy. Now, everybody that know me know I'm probably the biggest Lil Wayne fan that they know. Y'all know me growing up. I'm probably the biggest Lil Wayne fan that they know. Weezy talking about don't wake the giant. Now, y'all know me. But I honestly think Wayne got to sit this one out. Like, no disrespect to the GOAT. He my GOAT. But Wayne got to sit this one out, yo. Like, this is not that time. You know what I mean? This is not the time. We in a different time. This is not the time back then. This is Kendrick time. You know, I don't think Kendrick can do no wrong now. You know, I think Wayne's style is kind of back then. You know, I'm not saying Wayne don't got bars. That's my nigga. Everybody that know me know that Wayne is that nigga. That's the GOAT to me. But you got to sit this one out. You know what I mean? I feel like Kendrick got so much ammunition. You know, my nigga Weezy done already been on camera kissing niggas. You know, no disrespect to them. But there's already footage of you kissing niggas. You didn't let Birdman play with your money. Bro, you wildin', you know, like, you got to sit this one out. I don't want you to get embarrassed. I'm not saying you can't hold your own. You know, he might destroy Kendrick. You know, if anybody can do it, I think Wayne can do it. But I just want you to sit this one out because that nigga Kendrick is strategic and he can be diabolical. You know, so I don't want to see you go out like this. You know, you see how Mike Tyson just went against Jake Paul. Mike Tyson's image ain't what I thought it was. You know, I'm like, oh, damn, I just seen him. He was getting punched, you know, like, I don't want that to happen to you, my nigga. So if I was you, you know, I'm Young Money, Cash Money till I die. But you got to sit this one out, yo. Like, I don't want to see you get it destroyed by Kendrick Lamar, you know. Kendrick Lamar, a lyrical assassin. I'm not saying Wayne is not. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm selling Wayne. I'm not selling Wayne. I just don't want to see that nigga come out here and do no stupid shit. Because I don't want to, if you gonna diss a nigga like Kendrick, I don't want to hear no motherfucking singing. I don't want to hear no motherfucking auto-tune. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I want to hear bars. And if you ain't gonna do that, I don't want to hear that shit, my nigga. So I know Kendrick is coming. He probably already got a couple in the chamber. He just waiting on you to run off at the lip. So you gotta be prepared, Wayne. If you coming at Kendrick, you my nigga, but you gotta be prepared. I don't want to hear no singing. I don't want to hear no lollipop. I don't want to hear no how to love type shit. I want to hear straight bars if you finna do this shit. If not, nigga, keep minding your business and stay away. You know, he already destroyed Drake, which is the nigga you brought on. Bro, calm down, you know. If you're gonna do it the right way. If not, nigga, save that shit, you know what I mean? But that's all we finna get into today. You know, like, share, subscribe. We out.